Hey everybody, my name is Marlo Moore. I was born in Pine Ridge, South Dakota. I grew up on native lands. So interestingly enough, my parents didn't find out that I was deaf until I was about 2 years old. And how it happened was my mom was calling out for my name and I was just playing with my toys and I didn't react to her. So my mom thought that was a little bit interesting. Went over to me, tapped me on my shoulder, and I looked up at her. And she had realized that I was deaf. So my mom called a place in South Dakota. It was a deaf school in Sioux Falls. Not sure if the interpreter spoke that or voiced that correctly. But she had gone looking for sign language books, saying that she needed to learn sign language and that she was from Pine Ridge. So this guy's name was Doug. I'll never forget that. And I, at the time, just didn't really know what to do. I didn't have any sign language, and he just waved to me, so I waved back. He asked me what my name was, and I just looked at him. I didn't understand what he was trying to say. I didn't understand sign language. So as I grew up and I learned sign language, I decided to move to San Francisco. In South Dakota, they didn't really have a strong deaf community, so I decided to advance my skills and move over to San Francisco. When I was in kindergarten too, I was pretty shy. People around me were signing, and I was a little bit more shy. But then at 5th grade, I was a lot more out of my shell, I would say. In 5th grade, when I was in 5th grade, that school had shut down, so I had to go to a different middle school in high school from 6th to about junior year. And I was in a mainstream high school, and I told myself, or I realized that I really needed to go to a deaf school. And I could write back and forth, that's fine. And I could interact with my hearing friends, but I needed to go to a deaf school. First, I was in Iowa, and then I transferred over to Maryland. I try to think if I'm getting all of these in the right order. I had gone over to Washington, D.C. And Maryland was nice. I wasn't sure if I wanted to live there. Indiana, they had also a good program. So I decided I would go to Indiana. So my first day, I headed into Chicago. There was these huge buildings. It was really the first time I've seen anything like that. Where I was from was all flat, not huge buildings. So when I got to Indiana, it was crazy seeing all of these tall buildings. And my first day at the deaf school, I was amazed by the language. It was full immersion into ASL. Before that, I was getting there. I was signing, but I wouldn't say I was fluent. So the first day, I just completely fell in love. I went to a football game. It was amazing. We didn't have an interpreter. Before, I had to talk with an interpreter with the hearing coaches, and, it was just frustrating. So at this school, we could sign to each other wherever we were. Basketball games were amazing. Football games were amazing. Track, I got myself involved in track, which I loved. And again, it was just all that signing environment. It was a really great experience at that school. Then I had gone to Texas, and I met so many different people. And I had gone over to the Texas School for the Deaf, and looking back at those memories, I feel really blessed that I was able to have those experiences. And the education system there is great. I was involved in sports. I still did track. I did football. And in class, it was really cool because everybody was signed. Everyone signed. It was done in sign language. There was no interpreter there at all, which was fascinating. I didn't have to worry about asking the interpreter for anything. I just was able to use my own natural language in that classroom. So really, when I got there, I made new friends. Friends that shared the same experience, friends that shared the same language. It was really, really great. I also had met some friends from Gallaudet and RIT, Rochester School for the Deaf. So really, I got to know people from all around the country.